Good to see you all. So, I think you've come to know how to do remote work, how to be a digital nomad, but maybe I have something different to say. I think remote job is painful. Just imagine you have to decide where to work from. Should I work from a cafe today? Should I work from a co working today? Or should I work from a beach today? It's so difficult. Which clients do I work with next? Australian clients, American, Canadian, Australian, so many options. And how do I juggle with the time zones? Should I work in the night? Should I work in the day? It's so tough. It's so painful. Just imagine working in the remote areas of Thailand, Myanmar border, sitting and chilling with the Karen tribe and working with them. Just imagine working with my friends from the Royal Danish Library, the Black Diamond Library in Copenhagen. That's me. So I have all of these experiences. It's such a pain. And yet I chose this life, and this is the life I crafted. This is the life I designed. The point is, you don't happen to have this life by chance. It is designed, it is crafted. And I want to break it down for all of you. I want to be very transparent how I got here. You know, for a girl, a 23-year-old girl who had never stepped out of her home city and who belongs to somewhat a conservative family, a middle class family, and did not even have a bucket list. I think at this point in time, I can safely say that I am creating my bucket list as and when I tick more and more experiences, including this one. And that's where I am today. And there's this term called serendipity. And after working in all of these different environments, all of these different areas, geographies, societies, I think I've come to this conclusion that this is what I should be called. And I've had this moment. I never thought of it, but it occurred to me and I truly enjoy it. So that's my digital nomad life wrapped up in a few minutes. And I want to share with you the recipe of it today, how I got to this. And with very limited constraints, but a world full of resources, I could craft this. I can safely say that the core recipe of it would be these three items that I have for you. And I did not know when I started off. First was financial independence, not having liabilities. I think all of this lifestyle comes with the responsibility of making sure what I'm getting into and what I'm compromising on. So, that financial independence was the biggest step. Knowing that I will have to have some money to get started and to be able to do those different things that I wanted to do. And it's not just one, it's not just travel. It's taking the risks of being a freelancer, taking the risk of not having a job, taking the risk of sometimes going to new cities and not knowing where I'll stay. Next, I added on this thing to it called consistent remote income, which meant I started to learn how to make money online. There are so many ways these days. The best way to do it is to understand what the world needs, what kind of people are missing in this world, and where you can add value that way. And be one. I decided to go my way on the path of project and product management because I knew my strengths. I'm great at organizing things. Even if there's random stuff in front of me, I can make sense out of it and I can execute it. And that's why, from that analysis of what I had inside of me, I could create a career of my own. And this is not with the help of any MBA or BTech or any fancy degree. Next, I added onto these two things something called slow travel, which means I'm not in a FOMO or a rush of ticking off boxes. I am wanting to experience the cultures wherever I am. Be it Thailand, where maybe I'm not that party person, but maybe I wanted to look at the different types of tribes there, how they live, how they communicate, and mind it, they had Wi Fi in those areas. So you get to know all of these things. So, this is the recipe of my digital nomad lifestyle. And that's, I think, just the beginning of what I'm going to say. I want you to unlock and craft the life that you can create for yourself. You can create a recipe for yourself, which may not be this. And there's no point comparing two lives, your life with somebody else. They come with different resources, they come with different privileges, they come with different shortcomings. But you have your own strengths, you have your own weaknesses. Best to own those, best to know those, and make the best of it. I want to introduce you to a concept that I learned in project management. So, in the early 1900s, there was a thing called Gantt, introduced by Henry Gantt, and it's a very simple chart in which you just plot time along with the tasks that you have. And it's usually used in the IT and construction industries. Super simple, you can see. There might be some items starting from the beginning itself, and then we add on more to these. This is a Gantt chart. And my takeaway from this, because I get this asked a lot, that how do you really do it all? And this is the answer. We are all taught that we have perhaps one identity. Who are you? I'm a software engineer. Who are you? I'm a government employee. But I think the situation I've encountered with is I am unable to relate myself with one identity. And I think we are taught in our society, we are taught that we have to do things a certain way. We do our 10th grade, we do our 12th grade, we do our bachelor's, then sometimes we do our master's, we do our first job, second job, we get married, we have a life, and we retire, and then maybe we have some hobbies. But why not explore the different things you could do and also do it strategically? So all of these different identities that I carry today, not one which I'm able to associate with. I am a product manager, I am a project manager, I'm a freelancer, I'm a content creator, I'm a traveler, I am a fitness enthusiast, I'm a mentor, I'm a student, I'm also a personal finance enthusiast. So usually the identity that I come across that is asked to me is, how does Shreya do it all? And here's the answer. That's the Gantt chart that I have for you, comparing our linear life that we usually have. This linear life in which we usually go things one by one. Instead of that, strategically add on things on the layers as they become consistent. For example, for me, a very important thing was to stay financially independent. Let's say I have that bottom layer that way. That has to continue. Maybe I will add or subtract travel in between. I don't have to take the pressure of impressing people to be a traveler at all times. So I know what months to dedicate for that, and then maybe shift to, let's say, fitness or maybe personal relationship. So that's how you can create your own Gantt as well. And coming to that, I want you to know this concept that I created, which is called Life Gantt. And it is something I would want you all to try when you get back home. Let's say you want to start working out. I've heard so many people that I really want to work out, I really want to be fit, I really want to do gym and all of that. Then I've heard people, I have had so many cancelled travels, maybe because they were not planned properly or at the right time. And I've heard, okay, I've always wanted to learn guitar. We've all been there. I think you all can relate to it. So this is how you can actually do it. Create the basis and add on the top of it. So here's your timeline, and here's the tasks that you will have to add to it. So let's say I want to start a certain journey, and I'll give you my example. I have started something which is called circular economy. I wanted to learn that, but there were no resources around me. I did not want to pay a hefty fee to education institutes for that. I did not have time for it. So what I did was I created a Gantt chart of my own learning method. I created my own internship to teach myself a certain thing. And that's how these things, structuring what I want to do, has helped me do so many things that I'm able to do today and do it sustainably, not just one off. I want to share a case study with you. Actually, it's about one of my favorite students, I think my favorite mentee, who had a lot of interest into traveling and who had been studying but was not financially independent, did not know how to make money. And then we started brainstorming and we realized, okay, there could be some ways. Maybe they don't exist yet. Maybe we can't find idols for it yet. But maybe let's try to find things where you can give your best. Maybe you can make money from giving consulting to different companies for what you know. Maybe you can go and be a guest faculty in education institutes because you're excellent at something you know. And that way, my favorite student started learning those things by himself and then also started monetizing it. And from zero to almost 3 to 4 lakhs per month was a great journey because that could be sustained in the future as well. It was a foundation that was built. And adding on the top of it was travel, which made him a digital nomad. And my favorite mentee, my favorite student is my husband. So that's a case study I feel proud of. And I think if we can do it, you all too can. It's all about strategizing. And a very important thing that I see is not having clarity into what exactly to do to get to your goal. So, usually, what you should do is you should have a goal. Let's say, I want to be able to do a headstand. I want to be able to do it. I want to be able to do a pull up. Or I want to be able to travel solo to Russia. I would break it down into smaller milestones. And then those milestones are broken down into tasks. Give those tasks timelines. Join it all together and see the magic. I hope I inspired you all to create your own life Can't. Once you get home today, think of all the things you want to do and put it in a chart, start ticking off the boxes, and then see the magic that you can do. Thank you.